Sometimes I wake up sweaty. Feels like I've just given up. Sometimes I don't wake up at all. I had a dream. The turtle too. To play the top. I
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Apex Showcase. Please welcome to the stage your hosts for this afternoon, Spartanburg Methodist College President Scott Cochran and Vice President for Student and Professional Development, Courtney Shelton.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our third annual Apex Showcase.
We are thrilled to have you here today as we celebrate the hard work, creativity, and ambition of our students. At SMC, we believe a college education is about more than a degree. It should be a launch pad, and that is what Apex is all about. What you're going to hear today is the culmination of more than a year of hard work from our seniors. All of SMC's juniors are tasked to select a capstone project during their junior year, and then throughout the next year, they work to develop and implement that project idea. We ask them to identify an opportunity, and maybe they want to start a business with that opportunity, or to identify a problem that they want to have an impact with. It may be a particular community that they want to serve and have an impact on. What you'll hear today will be students who have navigated some of those problems themselves. It could be their own mental health that they have navigated, or it could be a group of people that they want to serve. Throughout all of that, they learn to manage a budget, navigate the risks and challenges that came up throughout that process, and figure out how to market their projects to be as successful as they possibly could be. The results of that was an impact beyond the classroom. It had an impact on our campus and the greater Spartanburg community.
These projects challenge our students to apply everything they've learned while at Spartanburg Methodist College. The academics that happen in the classroom, the project challenges that always come up during something like this, and real-world activities that they are going to use far beyond the campus borders. Today, you're going to hear from 4 exceptional capstone presentations out of a pool of 38. And I am really excited for you to see these. These are impactful, and these are emotional, and they have just done a fantastic job. After each student presents, our panel of judges will have the opportunity to ask questions. And speaking of the judges, we will introduce those later. But to kick us off, our first presentation this afternoon, Trip Melton and his project Upward at the Springs.
My whole life, I've loved playing sports, especially basketball. And when I was growing up, my home church, Holly Springs Baptist, they used to have a basketball and cheerleading league. However, when the pandemic happened in 2019, the league was discontinued and it never started back up. And I wanted to change and do something about it. Hello, my name is Trip Melton, and this is my project, Upward at the Springs. The reason I wanted to have and do this project is, for one, I believe kids should participate in sports. I believe sports do a good job at teaching kids lessons and skills that they can use throughout their life. And that leads me to my second point. Kids today, to me, do not seem too interested in participating in sports. I found in an article in 2022, only 35% of kids participated in sporting activities. If you compare that to way back in 2006, 50% of them participated. I believe this could be because of the COVID-19 pandemic that just happened, but could also be because of the growing technology. To me, kids today are more interested in staying inside and playing video games and playing on their phone versus going outside and being active. And the third reason I wanted to do this project, and it's ultimately the reason I decided to partner with Upward Sports in the first place, is I want to teach people about God. I could have just focused on the basketball side and made an ultra-competitive league, but Upward and I have the same mission when it comes to developing a youth sports program, which is teaching them the fundamentals of the game, but also teaching about God at the same time. So my league is a basketball and cheerleading league for any boy and girl in K-5 through 6th grade. They are placed into different age groups, placed into even teams. There's an 8-week season. Throughout the week, they practice and they play a game on Saturday. And the whole time they are learning about basketball or cheerleading, but they're also learning about God through halftime devotions and practice devotions. So my 3 goals for this project is centered around the three things I want to accomplish most, which is to start up the league, to have the league be successful, but also have the league carry on into next year. I want this thing to not just be a one-time thing. I want it to be a yearly tradition at my church. So my first goal is to have 84 kids sign up for basketball, 16 for cheerleading. My second goal is to have at least 200 fans and kids attend the games on Saturday. Accomplishing this goal not only tells me that the league is successful, but it also gives my church an opportunity to minister and to outreach these families. And my third goal is to have an 80% would play again rating for my end of season review form. My three key partners for this project is David Tate, Holly Howard, Jennifer McCall. All three of them played a major role in providing the resources I needed to run this league, such as the church facilities. They helped me purchase the jerseys, the medals, as well as the practice devotions, and they also played a big role in providing the marketing and helping me with marketing. For marketing, I placed 10-yard signs across busy roads in my church or near my church community. I ran a Facebook ad for 2 months in the fall, and also I distributed promo cards to the people of my church, but also to the people of Holly Springs Model Elementary, which is a school nearby my church. Now, a lot of work went into my project before the actual weeks began. In August, I proposed the league to my church. I then spent the next 3 months advertising for the league. Not only was I looking for kids to join up and sign up, but I was also looking for volunteers. I could not have done this by myself, so I needed coaches, referees, concession stand workers, and so much more people. I held 2 evaluation nights in November. This was big in helping me evaluate the kids so I can place them on teams evenly. I created schedules in December, and then I started the project. During the actual project, it was an 8-week season, and there was a lot of repetition. During the week, I made sure the gym was unlocked and locked for practices. I spent most of my week just contacting people to sign up to do devotions for me. On game day, which was on Saturday, I did a little bit of everything. I made sure that the gym was prepared, games were played, I kept score on some games. Also, I coached the 5th and 6th grade team myself. So using an online registration form, I was able to accomplish my first goal. I ended up having 103 basketball players sign up, 29 cheerleaders. My second goal, I actually ended up having around 521 kids and families attend the games. Initially, when I said and made this goal, I only thought maybe the kid and the mom and dad would show up, but it turns out that 1, the games are really exciting, and 2, a lot of their families travel. So there was their mom, dad, grandparents, aunt, uncles, cousins, friends. I mean, some of their teachers even showed up. So I think that's why the number got so big. My third goal, at the last week of the season, I distributed my end-of-season review form. I had a 91% would play again rating. Accomplishing all three of these goals confirmed to me that the league was successful and that people would want to do it again. And I can go in and tell you that my church has asked me to run it again, and I'm planning on doing it next winter. So for my budget, as you can see, with the cost of jerseys and medals, as well as the concessions, my total expenses came up to be around $7,500. But with my registration fee and some other sales, I only made $6,300. However, that was actually by design. When I proposed the league to my church in August, we both agreed on I didn't want to make any money, the church didn't want to make any money, and we wanted to make the league as affordable as possible. So what they allowed me to do was use $2,450 of their church budget to offset any of the expenses. And with the concession sales and refunds, I only needed to use around half of that, saved them $1,231. As a business major with a focus in accounting, this project has taught me so much on running a business. It taught me how to manage my money. It taught me marketing. It taught me customer service. And as someone who doesn't know exactly what I'm going to do when I graduate, I can tell you I've really enjoyed this project. I love and I'm proud of what I've done, And if working for Upward or in sports in general is in my future, I would absolutely love to do that. I end this presentation with a picture that I got on the last game of the season. And as someone who has always kind of struggled expressing and spreading my thoughts, this picture best describes why I wanted to do this league. In the picture, there's a kid. He's laying on the ground. He is celebrating because he just hit the game-winning shot for his team to win the championship. And in the background, his teammate, she's crying tears of joy in her mom's arms because she just accomplished something she set out to do. And there's fans in the back smiling and cheering and enjoying what they just watched. To me, the results of these games mean nothing. But to these kids, this is what they think about. This is what motivates them. And these are memories that they created and they will never forget. Thank you.
Great job, Trip. Judges, what questions do you have for Trip about his project?
Trip, very well done. I thought that was great. Thank you. Very inspiring. What would you say is the biggest challenge you faced during this process?
Yeah, great question. Well, initially, the first week of the season, it snowed, so we had to shift everything. I had to create all new schedules and stuff. That was the first challenge. But I would say the hardest challenge was before the season actually begun, just getting volunteers. I needed 13 coaches. I needed referees to sign up for every game. That was the hard part, is communicating to people, which is something I'm not really good at. So, but that was probably the hardest challenge.
Congratulations on a great project. That's fantastic. Which of your marketing initiatives were the ones that you think brought in the most students, and how did the overall marketing campaign get so many people involved?
Yeah, I would say all three of them worked. I definitely got it on all three sides, but I would say the Facebook ad was the major one. I had kids with the yard signs and the promo cards. That was just people that I might have known in the community, but we had kids all the way from Spartanburg, Greenville, Bowling Springs show up, and I know for a fact that was from the Facebook ad. So, yeah, that was my biggest one.
Awesome. Thank you.
Trip, great presentation. You mentioned 35% of kids participate in sports, and that's just basketball?
No, sir, that's just all sports. That's all sports.
Okay, good. And so do you look to expand to other sports?
Upwards asked me to. I love all types of sports, but for now, my passion is basketball. I coach middle school basketball as well, so I would stick to basketball for now, but who knows? Maybe in the future we can expand.
Good job.
Hi, Trip. That was fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed by the complexity of the project. You had so many balls in the air, pun intended, that I'm not sure how you had time for anything else. So I'm wondering, who did you go to for advice when things got tough? And what feedback did you receive that helped you most push through?
My mom and dad, really. My mom, you asked me, I struggled a lot with, or I was probably busy a lot, and my mom definitely played a major role in helping me with some of the stuff, especially she ran the whole concession stands and stuff. But my dad, I mean, he's kind of used, he's ran and been involved for many years when I was growing up, so that was my go-to guy of asking him questions and stuff.
Trip, very well done. It was over a very long project. Is there anything that you would have done different or wish you would have known going into the project?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Even though I think it was a successful project, part of the reason I sent out my end-of-season review form was to get feedback. And I got a lot of feedback from parents. And For sure, next year, use social media a little bit more. I didn't do any of that. For sure, start a Facebook page and post results and announcements and stuff. A lot of parents talked about that, wanted to improve. And yeah, that's the main thing for me. And I just want to expand it as well. We started with only 12 teams. I feel like we can improve that, and that's the goal.
Thank you. Awesome. Great job, Trip. Everybody give Trip a round of applause. Well, while our judges are tabulating their scores, we wanted to introduce you to them and their background and what expertise they're bringing to the stage today.
Our first judge is Jack McBride, the founder and CEO of Contech Incorporated. Contech is a leading manufacturer of contamination control products for mission-critical cleaning in manufacturing environments worldwide, like pharmaceuticals, biotech, medical devices, and the auto industry. It operates facilities all over the world, in China, in the Philippines, in the UK, and right here in good old Spartanburg, South Carolina. Jack earned his undergraduate degree from Duke, go Blue Devils, and his MBA from the Wharton School of Business. His leadership has been recognized with a number of awards, and I think one of the most telling is in 2022, Jack was inducted into the South Carolina Business Hall of Fame. Please join me in welcoming Jack McBride. And his MBA from the Wharton School of Business. His leadership has been recognized with a...
Elizabeth Jeter Rubala is a certified financial planner and the president and owner of Jeter Rubala Wealth Strategies, a South Carolina-based wealth management company that has offices here in Spartanburg, as well as the delightful Isle of Palms. Beth has earned numerous accolades, including being listed among Forbes 2024 Top Best in State Women Wealth Advisors and Forbes 2024 Best in State Wealth Management Teams. Additionally, she was recognized on Advisor Hub's 2023 list of 50 women advisors to watch. She graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Business Economics and French from Wofford College, then completed her Master of International Business from the University of South Carolina, specializing in finance and Portuguese. She is dedicated to community involvement and has served on multiple of Spartanburg's nonprofit boards, including being a current board member here at Spartanburg Methodist College. Please welcome Beth.
Spartanburg Mayor Jerome Rice Jr. was sworn into office January 10th, 2022, and previously served 3 terms, 12 years, as a District 5 City Councilman for the City of Spartanburg. Mayor Rice is a graduate of Spartan High, USC Upstate, and Wake Forest University. He spent 30 years mentoring youth through Project Right Start, Boys and Girls Clubs, and coaching middle school basketball and high school football. In addition, he has worked for 28 years in Spartanburg School District 7, serving our youth. Mayor Rice has been married to Shay Rice for 25 years. They have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. He is a lifelong learner and believes the world teaches us all something new every day if we are willing to listen. Welcome, Mayor Rice.
Christy Thompson is the Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Operations for Milliken Flooring. She leads the division's marketing initiatives, driving innovation and aligning business strategy with customer-centric solutions in a dynamic industry. Christy has more than 25 years of experience in marketing and communications, specializing in strategic brand development, customer engagement, and organizational growth. Christy is also a passionate advocate for inclusive leadership and team development. Throughout her career, Christy has held senior leadership roles for Fortune 1000 and 500 companies, where she led global marketing organizations and developed high-impact strategies that transformed brand presence and delivered measurable business results. Please welcome Christy.
Kim Strickland serves as the Director of Talent Acquisitions at American Credit Acceptance, where she leads strategic initiatives that elevate recruitment performance and enhances the employee experience. She leverages data and technology to workforce challenges, such as improving time to hire, building a relationship and leadership pipeline, and integrating AI to streamline the hiring process. She's passionate about mentoring others in the HR space and learning about the future of work, leadership development, and the intersection of tech and talent When she's not working, you can find her at home in Simpsonville enjoying time with her husband and her 2 sons. Welcome, Kim Strickland.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for spending time investing in our students and the future of SMC and their individual futures as well. We really appreciate it. And with that, it's time for our next student presentation. Next, you're going to hear from Bryson Summers with his project, Rev Up for Kids. Please welcome Bryson.
Growing up with my dad and my grandpa, I was always around cars and trucks, whether it be going to car shows, working on cars, or just talking about cars and trucks in general. I like to consider this project as a 2-in-1 deal. Me and both of my sisters used to be patients for an organization by the name of Shriners Children's Hospital out of Greenville, South Carolina. And when I tell you my sisters could probably whip my tail, they probably could. They're tough as nails. Hi, my name is Bryson Summers, and this is my project, Rev Up for Kids. I'm a senior here at SMC, pursuing a degree in criminal justice with a minor in religion. So the purpose of this project was to put on an event to raise money for Shriners Hospital. Approximately 85% of all funds are spent and it's dedicated to patient care, research, and education. So Rev Up for Kids is a car and bike show where people can gather together to fundraise money for the hospital. My goals for this project was to raise at least $500 from the show. I wanted to have at least 50 cars and trucks and 10 motorcycles to register, and I wanted to make sure everyone had a good time. My key partners. This couldn't have been successful without their help and their advice. Claire Jane Howard, who is the SMCX marketing director here, and Dale Wilson, who's actually my dad, and he's a Shriner like myself. And the next person we have is Bradley Kennedy. He is the commander in the American Legion Post, at the American Legion Post 33. And speaking of Shriners, this right here, I like to call my fancy hat, and it's actually called a fez. And as Shriners, we wear them at meetings, parades, or even when we go to the hospital to go see kids. So for my marketing, leading up to my event, I worked on 3 things. And on the right-hand side, that white flyer, that was my flyer that I passed out when I went to other car shows. And word of mouth was my biggest thing when I would talk to people and pass out flyers. I also made an event page on Facebook, and on the bottom left, that was my event profile picture that I used. I also worked on getting raffle prizes, and this couldn't have been more successful without getting sponsors. I was able to secure around $1,600 from sponsors, and that was very awesome for them to do, and that included gift cards, gift certificates, and car wash buckets. And I was able to get 14 raffle and door prizes, and it valued out to be $915. So right here, t-shirts. I was able to get around 56 t-shirts, I believe, and I sold out of them. And on the bottom, on the back of that shirt has some of the sponsors that I have. And some of the sponsors that I had was the Beacon, Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's, and Ace Hardware. Trophies. I gave away 26 awards, and that included a top 20, a Best in Show, a Shriner's Choice, and a Veteran's Choice. I also gave away 3 awards for top 3 for motorcycles. And food. I made a food deal with the commander at the American Legion Post, and the deal we made was the American Legion keeps 80% of all food, of the food, and I keep 20, since he let me have my event there for free. So the show took place on March 15th from 11 a.m. to 3, and to register, the entry fee was $20. And I had around, I want to say around 8 volunteers, maybe a little bit more. And after judges got done calculating up the results, we gave away rewards. Total registrations, I had around 56 cars and trucks register, and I had 10 bikes register. The total expenses I spent out of my sponsorship money, I spent $587. I had a question on my registration sheet when people would register, and it asked, how did you find out about this event? And they either put social media, through a friend, or through the venue. And not everyone answered, only 43 answered. But 27 people said they found out about it through social media, 11 people said they found out about it through a friend, and 5 people said they found out about it through the venue. The total raise, $1,170 was raised in entry fees. $1,282 was raised in donations, and $576 was raised in t-shirt sales. Then $120 was raised on raffle tickets, on selling those. Then $100 was sold with food once I got the 20%. And I applied for the SMC grant, I got that, and I used the full $200. And the total raise was $3,448. Now, once you take out expenses, $2,861 was donated. And this little guy right here, his name is Eli, and his story is amazing. I went to go deliver the check to Shriners a couple weeks ago, and he was there. He came in for his normal checkup, and he was born without his right arm and his left leg. And he came in there, and I told him, I was like, I need some help holding this check. You want to get in and get a picture and help me hold it up? And I've seen videos of him. He's like 10 years old. He's able to take his glove off, hold it with his chin. He's able to swing the baseball from third base to first base. And his story is quite amazing. So this project has helped me out a lot, and it has taught me a bunch of skills that I think will be very essential for me in my career path, which is law enforcement. And those skills are communication, decision-making, and public speaking. So a lot of times as Shriners, we like to do something called Pass the Hat. And we'll do this at events, parades, stuff like that. At the end of the show, this little girl right here, her and her family drove 15 hours to come to Greenville, to Shriners. Her dad just had a motorcycle accident. It's him in the black glasses to the left. And she's going to be in that wheelchair for the rest of her life. She has something called MSP. And so my dad came up to me, he was like, I just want to raise money for them to be able to go to dinner. And just in 5 minutes, a hat was going around. It was actually my fez or my dad's. We were able to raise $585 just in 5 minutes for that family to go to dinner. And they came up to us and they were like, that's enough to pay our rent for the month. And I didn't do this project for cars or something like that. I did this project to put an impact on people's lives, to show them what Shriners do and how big of an impact they can put on people's lives. And for those of you who don't know, Shriners Hospital, they help kids in need with orthopedics, cleft palate lip, and stuff like that. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. Thank you.
Great job. That's fantastic. Questions for Bryson?
Sure, Bryson, great job, great presentation. My church actually puts on a car show, so I know the hard work that you've gone through. What do you drive?
I actually drive an '88 GMC Sierra. It was my grandpa's. It's been in my family for probably about 30 years. My mom drove it in high school, my aunt drove it in high school, and it got handed down to me. So my family's been around old cars and trucks, and my dad built a bunch. So I got to experience him and help him out build some.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for what the Shriners does as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bryson, congratulations on another fantastic project. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I will tell you, I still have my fraternity fez in my office from 50 years ago or something. So I'm curious, how did the awards get given out?
Just at the end, once the judges got done, we would call out. I had a DJ. My friend has a DJ speaker. He DJs on the side, and I would hand him papers, and he would go through, say, like top 20. He would go through top 20, and he would call out the car number, and he would be like, car number 4, for example, and he would say like the year, make, and model, and I would hand out an award, and I would just shake their hand and say, thank you for coming.
Okay, I've never been to a car show, so I wasn't sure how the judges rated the cars.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well done, Bryson. That's excellent. If you were starting this project again today, is there anything that you would do differently? Anything that you wish you knew at the beginning?
I'll probably market it a little bit better. I started marketing back in January, and I feel like if I would have marketed probably like, say, 2 to 3 months in advance, I probably would have had a bigger turnout, and I feel like that I could have done that a little bit better.
Judges, we have time for one more question.
Well, I'll say as the marketer at the table, that just warms my heart. Your story is inspiring, and it's really impressive that I think your personal experience was the passion behind the project that you chose. So if you had unlimited resources, how would you scale this going forward?
On a scale from 1 to 10, probably.
How would you grow it?
Just probably get as many contacts that I know and try to talk to them and get advice that way. I know a bunch of people who are Shriners, and I would probably just talk to them and see what advice they can give me, because I know a bunch of people who have put on car shows, and I would just probably talk to them and see what advice they can give me.
Networking is a great marketing strategy. Good work.
Yes, ma'am.
One more round of applause for Bryson.
Olivia Shaw. I graduated in May 2024, and my degree was in English, Psychology, and Professional Development. The greatest lesson I learned throughout the whole Chem & Core process would probably be that I can do hard things. It really made me feel confident. That's one of the big things that I took away from this entire experience is confidence. With Chem & Core, I felt that there's really nothing I can't do. Chem & Core was hard. It was hard, but it was so worth it. And I'm so glad that that's something that SMC has for students, that we have to do it. Actually, let me change that. It's not we have to do it, we get to do it. To this year's 3 finalists, congratulations. You should be so very proud of yourselves. This is a special moment, and just smile, stand proud, and give your very best, because you've got this.
You heard Olivia mention something that we call at SMC the Chem & Core. The Chem & Core is named after our founder here at SMC, and it's a program that all of our bachelor's degree students participate in. It includes 6 required courses that, regardless of their major or their career plans, they all enroll in these courses. And these courses teach the key skills that we know employers that are with us today are looking for, regardless of that industry. Things like leadership skills, communication, written and oral communication, the ability to work in a team and work together. But beyond just learning these things in the classroom, our students actually apply them. They interact, they go through mock interviews with employers, they serve on consulting projects for local employers, and what you're seeing here today, our Capstone program.
Before I joined higher ed, I spent 20 years in the business world, and I reviewed countless resumes and hired a bunch of people, and they were all missing either an X or a Y, and that's why we built the Chem & Core. We wanted to develop workplace-ready students who had the skills to make a contribution from day one. Our Chem & Core started in 1911, believe it or not. When Dr. Kamek opened the college, he at the same time opened up a mill across the street to give students practical work experience, at the same time the ability to earn money and come and pay for their education. So we are true to our roots today with a work-study focus and academic excellence focus as well. It's an and, not an or. It's the academics and the professional development not an or professional development, and we're really proud of that today. Ultimately, that's what college is all about, and we're very proud of it.
Awesome. We are going to welcome our next presenter, Victoria Farr, with her project, Adjust Your Crown. Please welcome Victoria.
A traumatic event can occur in different forms. For me, it was when I unexpectedly lost my vision at the age of 20 for unknown medical reasons. Not having any answers caused me to experience depression, have low self-esteem, and experience self-hatred. It wasn't until I developed a personal relationship with Jesus and surrounded myself with other people who experienced similar trauma that I had that allowed me to gain back what I thought I lost. Hi, my name is Victoria Farr, and this is my project, Adjust Your Crown. Around 70% of people have experienced at least one traumatic event in their life. That means right now in this room, there are people that are walking around with wounds that can't be seen from the outside, which is why I created this project. Adjust Your Crown is a Christian-based interactive workshop that's designed to improve the self-image among individuals who've experienced a traumatic event. This was done through self-reflection prompts and group discussions. This project was designed for adult men and women who've experienced a traumatic event. It was made available to students and non-students here in Spartanburg. I had two key partners for this project. Kevin Rose, the director of Title IX and Equal Opportunity, connected me with organizations that provided resources to members of my target audience, and Clara Jane Haller, the SMC Experience marketing director, provided me with activities I could do during my workshops. My three goals for this project were to gain 100 followers through Facebook and Instagram combined, have at least 10 people attend each workshop, and improve the confidence, self-esteem, and self-love among my participants. For marketing, I designed this flyer that contains all the information about my events, including the topics, date, time, location, registration deadlines, and a QR code for people to register through. I posted these online to social media. I sent them in emails to different organizations and support groups in our area, and I hung them around campus and off-campus sites. I also created this website for people to get more information about myself and about the workshops. People could also register for the workshops through the website as well. So here's how I spent my 6 weeks. During week 1, I posted online content throughout the week that was meant to encourage and inspire my followers to engage in inner healing and spread awareness about trauma. I also posted flyers around campus and online. During week 2, it was a similar layout as week 1, posting online content throughout the week, and I also created virtual fundraising tools to help raise money for my events. During week 3, I hosted my first event. The topic was called Identifying the Source of Your Negative Self-Talk. Here, participants worked through a worksheet that I created that was designed to help them identify what are those negative things that they thought or felt about themselves, where do they come from, and what they can do to combat it. At the end of the event, I awarded one of my participants with a $50 gift card to Texas Roadhouse just for showing up on a Saturday morning. During week 4, I held my second event, the Sip and Paint Self-Image. Here, participants worked through an activity that I gained from one of my key partners that was meant to help them discover what core values meant the most to them. They were then instructed to paint a background, symbol, or images that brought them joy in the core values that they chose. This was to symbolize that no matter what you have gone through in your past, you can find beauty in your background, to surround yourself with people and things that add value to your life, and to always remember the things that are most important to you. At the end of the event, I awarded another participant with a $50 gift card to Amazon. It was not rigged, but that's my mom. During week 5, I held my third and final event. The topic was letting it go. Here, participants worked through another worksheet I created that was designed to help them identify what are some things they needed to let go of, whether it was a negative thought or feeling about themselves or someone else that caused them harm, an actual person, or if they wanted to stop replaying the same traumatic memory over and over. They learned that acceptance, accountability, and forgiveness are stages that they need to work through in order to help them let go. They were instructed to write down at least one thing they wanted to let go of that day. We attached it to two balloons, and they quite literally let it go. After that, they picked out their own personal crown to replace what they just let go of, and as a reminder of the greatness that they now carry within them. At the end of the event, I awarded my last participant with a $50 gift card to Outback Steakhouse. And again, it wasn't rigged, but that's my stepdad. During week six, I spent analyzing all the data that I collected from the previous 5 weeks. I was awarded $200 from the SMC grant, and I was able to raise $400 through my virtual fundraising tools. I spent a total of $552.47. This was to cover food and drinks for all 3 events, goodie bag materials, art supplies, gift cards, and cake pops that I ordered from my fellow classmates' Capstone project, Cake Pops by Maddie. For my results, I was able to gain 240 followers through Instagram and Facebook combined. My original goal was to gain 100 followers, and I exceeded that goal by 140. My second goal was to have at least 10 people attend each workshop. During my first event, 6 people showed up. During the second event, 9 people, and then the third event was 7 people. Unfortunately, I did not meet my goal of having 10 people in each workshop, but I did learn that it's not always about the numbers, but about making an impact on those that did show up. I did have 6 people attend more than one event. And my last goal was to improve the confidence, self-esteem, and self-love among my participants. Before my events, I handed out 14 pre-questionnaires. Of those 14, 71% had low confidence, 64% had low self-esteem, and 91% did not know how to show themselves self-love. After my events, I received 7 post-questionnaires back. Of those 7, 86% said that their confidence and self-esteem had improved, and all 7 participants said that they now know how to show themselves self-love going forward. These are the career skills that I believe I learned during this process. Program development, event planning, and communication skills are all skills I will be using in my future when I develop my own nonprofit organization for this community of Spartanburg to help people get back on their feet. I will be graduating in May with my Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice and Psychology. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I would like to tell every single person in this room that it doesn't matter what you have gone through or what you will face in the future, you can absolutely get through anything. I am living proof of that. If you'd like to connect with me, you can scan this QR code. It'll bring you to my link tree. There you'll find all of my social media accounts. Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Judges, your questions.
Victoria, great job on your
Thank you.
presentation. What was the #1 thing that you think had the most positive outcome of your project that you were doing?
The most positive? I think people sharing their own personal experiences during the group discussions. One, because they might not have had people to be able to talk to that they were actually close with. So people may think sharing in front of strangers can be scary, but I found that during my workshops, it was very easy for them to do because there was no sense of judgment. There was nothing going to be thrown back in their face later on at a family event. They felt very safe and comfortable sharing the things that they struggled with, and I love that how the other participants would also comfort the other person because it did get emotional at times, but seeing that comfort among strangers was absolutely beautiful, so that would be the most positive part of it.
Victoria, fabulous job. That was very exciting to hear your success.
Thank you.
I'm curious, as you were going through the process, you clearly bring so many strengths to a topic like this. What do you think was the #1 strength that you brought to this project that made it successful?
The biggest strength I would say was my resiliency. I face challenges every single day as a blind individual, so I'm constantly having to adapt and work around ways to make things work best for me. So especially doing these events, including things that require vision to see, being able to do that and do it well and to push through it and say, hey, it doesn't matter if I have this setback, I'm gonna continue to push through and do my best and see how it goes. So I would say my resiliency.
So you're amazing. I've never given a PowerPoint presentation without being able to see the slides.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
my question would be, how did you get the slides made, and how did you have the wherewithal to make a presentation on the slides that are all appropriate? I mean, I'm amazed.
Thank you. So there are accessibility technology out there for blind individuals. Canva is not that accessible, so I did have to use different methods.
I did have to consult people who do have vision to make sure that things were in line. I'm not able to read any of the text on the slides, so I use the photos as landmarks to help me keep track of where I'm at, and then the rest was just by memory.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Victoria, wow, what an inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing your story and to stand up in front of this big group of people. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Any major challenges that you faced, and what was the biggest obstacle that you felt you had to overcome during the project?
I would say my biggest obstacle was trying to get people who were registered to actually show up. I did have way more people registered for the events, but nearly almost half didn't show up. So it could have been because it was a Saturday morning and people wanted to sleep in, and didn't want to talk about trauma. So that was my biggest challenge. So I thought that maybe I would be sending out reminders to the people who were registered. So I would send out a long text message about the reminder, and I even recorded a video of Ellis buildings to show people where to go because most of them weren't students. So I would send them out on a Friday the first week, and only 6 people showed up, so I was like, okay, maybe I should send it sooner during the week. So the next week I sent it on Wednesday. I had more people show up, and then for the last event, there was a spring break in between, so I sent it out on a Monday before the event. So I just tried to send reminders sooner to get a better result.
That's great. I know our marketing guru at the table can talk about how you have to do some trial and error, so good for you.
Victoria, I won't keep. Outstanding job.
Outstanding
job. Thank you for that presentation.
Thank you.
One more round of applause for Victoria. You like this thing? A little bump there. Great job.
Hi, my name is Brian Herrera. I graduated in the class of 2024. I believe the CAMET core classes did prepare me for what I currently do now, especially because I'm working with clientele that have already been established in the surrounding community. And classes that I took here at SMC, such as professional communications, they were essential in developing those core skills that I have now. I think the skill that benefited me the most to date, and it has been for the past few years and I've continued to work on consistently, is networking. I think networking is one of those things that a lot of people overlook. I think there's an art to it, and that's the skill that's benefited me the most. To a student looking to come to SMC, I would say the CAMET core is essential. I think a lot of other colleges that don't include it should include it, and I think it's essential not only to your personal development, but also how you're going to perform in the field outside of college. My advice to the top 3 finalists this year is to just make sure you accept everything that comes to you with grace, including this opportunity, because not everybody gets this opportunity, but you did. So make sure you utilize it. Make sure you utilize everything that comes with it, the connections, the extra exposure. Make sure you use that to the best of your ability, because this was given to you for a reason.
You saw Brian and heard him mention networking, and Christy, you mentioned networking earlier. Networking is absolutely critical, particularly to college students when they're entering the job market. Networking is not inherent. It's not something you're born with. It's a skill that's developed, and we spend a lot of time on it because every single person, particularly 18 to 22-year-olds going out into the work world, need networking. And we work on that every single day.
Absolutely. You know, you've heard students mention the team of support that they have had throughout this process, a lot of family support, faculty and staff support, but a group that we have to acknowledge is our employer partners, many of whom are here today that have partnered with us to host mock interviews, to be project partners for Capstone projects, to be guest speakers or participate in career fairs. And so we just want to ask for a second, if you have participated in any of these events, if you would stand up briefly and let us just thank you for your work partnering with us on the future of Spartanburg's talent. Thank you so much. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you all.
Our college is growing, and it is growing rapidly, and our bachelor degree is growing as well, along with the programs that we're adding. And it creates opportunities for our students, and also for those of you in the audience who are employers and all of our employers within our region. We are already planning for next year. If you're looking for future-ready talent, if you're looking for the right room to be in, you are in that right room to find that talent. Inside the front cover of your program, you will find ways to connect. Speakers panels, hiring events, networking hours, and more. We need our community to join us in helping get these students ready for life after college in a professional world to benefit the whole community. Employers, your neighbors, and our social atmosphere, and our whole community within Spartanburg.
Awesome. Our final presenter today is Madison McCall with her project, You Are Worth It. Please welcome Madison. Did you know that in the state of South Carolina, there are 3,255 children in foster care? Or that in Spartanburg, there are 169? Or that in the upstate, there are close to 600 children in foster care? At one point in my life, I was a part of this statistic. Hi, my name is Madison McCall, and this is my Capstone, the You Are Worth It project. I'm a senior here at Spartanburg Methodist, majoring in psychology. Growing up, I struggled with a lack of self-esteem and confidence, often feeling out of place. When my family would go out in public, people would look at us differently, and that made me question my purpose and my identity. It wasn't until I received the love, support, and guidance that I needed to help me see my worth, and through that journey, I discovered my purpose, and that is to give back to children who are in the shoes that I was once in. The need for children in foster care is love, support, and guidance. Through my project, I will mentor, tutor, and engage in activities that help build up their self-esteem and celebrate their accomplishments. For my project, I had 3 goals that I would like to reach. First, to see improvement of grades from beginning to end. Second, to see growth in confidence and self-esteem. And 3, to receive positive parent feedback. A quick project description: it is 6 weeks mentoring and tutoring. I will be doing activities, worksheets, and homework, as well as relationship building. Who is PS I Love You? PS I Love You is a nonprofit organization that serves the foster care community. It is a resource center that provides all necessities for foster children and their families. Who is PS I Love You to me? To me, it is near and dear to my heart, as my sister and I were fostered by Tyler and Kay Kirby, the founders and directors of PS I Love You. My sister and I, along with 2 of the sons that they have adopted, were the inspiration behind this ministry. So why PS I Love You? It's a full circle moment for me, being able to give back to the community, but also the organization that helped out when I was in need. This project could not be done alone. I have 3 amazing key partners that I worked with. Laura Timmons is the Ministry Development Coordinator at PS I Love You. Victoria Anthony is the Director of Student Advising and Persistence here at SMC. And Hannah Rogers is a 2nd grade teacher at New Prospect Elementary. For my budget, I received $50 from the SMC grant. I used $29 of that on expenses for the children, as the rest were donated by my key partner, Hannah. For marketing, I used my website to launch and promote my project. You could go and see everything about my project on my website, as well as parents could sign their children up through my website. With my Instagram, this was used to show everything going on throughout my project, and I like to refer to it as the scrapbook of You Are Worth It. For week 1 of my project, this was participant enrollment. I spoke at the Mom's Night Out event at PS I Love You on February 3rd. At this event, I promoted and launched my project to the parents there. They were given this handout there, and then PS I Love You sent out a mass text to the parents after, also promoting my project. And through that, I got 3 amazing participants. Kaden is my 4th grader, who is a previous child from my internship at Big Brother, Big Sister. Colton is my 2nd grader, who is a biological son of a family that has fostered to adopt. And Gracie is my 8th grader, my only foster child. Though all 3 of these joined throughout different times in my project, this did not hinder the relationship that I built with them. For my first meeting, this was a getting to know you all about me type of meeting, so we did activities and worksheets that were tailored to that, as well as this pre-assessment. And the themes pulled from that pre-assessment were reading, math, and self-confidence.
For my weekly meetings, these ran from February 10th to March 30th, and I did worksheets, activities, and homework, and they also completed this engagement form. So here are a few snapshots from each kid. With Caden, his weekly themes pulled were reading, behavior, and fractions. The sheet in your top corner is the sheet that we did the week he told his teacher to shut up. That was a hard week for Caden, but he did that sheet, and he came back the next week and told me that he had apologized to his teacher. With Colton, you can see the themes pulled were reading, confidence, and compound sentences. Colton hated doing compound sentences, so when I told him this, I brought him a compound sentence sheet to do, and that's him trying to smile through the pain of doing it. And lastly, with Gracie, her themes pulled were self-confidence, self-worth, and self-advocacy. When I first met Gracie, she could not answer any questions that were tailored to her. What makes you happy? What makes you unique? So on this Who Am I sheet, halfway through my project, the third to last line says, I'm unique in my own certain ways. This was the first time in my project Gracie had written something like that without asking for reassurance from me. For my project impact, my first goal was to see improvement of their grades. So with Caden, we can see that he's gone from all C's to A's and B's. Colton's highest and most improved iReady score was reading, and Gracie has gone from all C's to A's and B's. And the coolest thing with Gracie is that we've never sat down to do homework together, but because she's growing in self-confidence and self-esteem, her grades are improving in school. For my second goal, I wanted to see growth in self-esteem and confidence, so I compared their pre-assessment to their post-assessment. With Colton, you can see that he used the same words to describe himself, but on the post-assessment, he said that he was proud of himself. With Gracie, she could not answer 2 questions confidently on the pre-assessment, but she was able to answer those confidently on the post-assessment. And with Caden, he talked about being good at the same things, but he added that he was good at math. For my parent testimonials, this was to receive positive parent feedback, and so you can see that these parents have seen growth in confidence, improvement in reading skills, and love for learning come back. These are the 4 skills that I have learned throughout doing this project. I plan to take these into my chosen career path as an elementary guidance counselor. I'm excited to say that PS I Love You has offered me a full-time position to continue doing this work, as well as I get the privilege of working with these children until the end of their school year. The connection that changed everything. The girl in that picture never in a million years could have imagined making an impact on Gracie. When I first met Gracie, she was doing her pre-assessment, and she looked at me and she said, Madison, I don't know 3 words to describe myself. And I told her that she didn't have to answer the question, but by the end of our 6 weeks working together, I really wanted her to be able to answer this question confidently. When Gracie was filling out her post-assessment, she answered, what are 3 words to describe yourself with I am kind, talented, unique in my own certain ways. The same love, support, and guidance that has been poured out into me is being poured back out into these children. This is how you can connect with me. Thank you.
Judges, what questions do you have for Madison?
Sure. Madison, that was you on the left in the picture? To the left, the taller one?
Can you go back? I'm the little one.
You're the little one. I thought that was
I'm the little
you.
sister.
Awesome, awesome presentation. And you
Thank
kind
you.
of answered the question I had. I wanted to see how would you go past that 6-week period?
Yes, so I have been continuing to work with them till the end of their school year. I talked to their parents before the project technically ended, and they all had asked if we could continue doing this.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You are going to be an amazing guidance counselor.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
excited to see what you do. I'm
you.
curious, do you think that when you do become a counselor, that you'll take this program and continue to grow it within the school or the district where you're placed?
Yes, ma'am. I would love to do that.
Thank you. That was great. I really enjoyed it. What part of it, or what situation made you feel the best in terms of like reward and fulfillment? Was there something that stands out to you that was really fulfilling to see with one of the students that you worked with?
Yes, so the first 2 meetings that I met with Gracie, she never cracked a smile. She never smiled during the hour and a half that we were meeting. And our 3rd meeting, which was when we were doing the Who Am I sheet, she smiled because I had talked to her about, hey, this is the first time you wrote something like this. Like, you should be so proud of yourself right now. And she, the biggest smile ever. And that was the best feeling.
So a question, are you allowed to know who foster children are in the community? Is there a resource that allows you to reach out to them?
Yes, sir.
easily?
So PS I Love You, who I worked with through out this project, is the ministry that I got the foster children through.
And they're made aware when somebody enters the foster program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Well, mental health is such a key issue, and thank you for addressing it.
Thank you.
So, congratulations.
Madison, I'm a firm believer that if you find your passion, you'll find your purpose. And if you find your purpose, you'll find your passion. And clearly you have. My question to you is, what do you think that you did to turn things around for Gracie? It seems like you made a very positive impact to her. Was there one thing just in particular, or just your passion for what your story is?
I really think it was just allowing her to be her. I didn't push her to talk when she didn't want to talk. If she didn't want to talk about anything certain, we didn't talk about those things. So just allowing Gracie to be Gracie and open up to me. I knew that it would come at some point with the things that we were doing. And so just giving her that space, and it did come, and she opened up.
Awesome. Great job, Madison. Give Madison one more round of applause.
Trenton Davis. I graduated in 2024, and my degree is Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Something that was really special to me was that the capstone, it was all on you. You got to use your imagination, your creativity, and that's something that I've been trying to do a lot more, because in my opinion, me being creative and using my own imagination, that's me putting my ideas out there for people to see. It's me expressing myself.
So you've heard from 4 incredible students today. Unfortunately, we don't have time for you to hear from all 38 of our seniors who have equally impressive, empowering, and motivating projects that they have worked on throughout this past year. But you will have an opportunity to interact with them. Following this, we're going to move outside around our fountain where all 38 of our seniors will be present in a networking style event. So they will all be stationed in groups based on their project types that are highlighted for you in the program, so you can see some of the variety of projects that are there. In addition to telling you about their projects, our goal is that this is also an opportunity as they think about their next steps. As they think about their next employment steps, some of them have already accepted jobs, some of them have already been accepted into graduate school programs, but as they begin to think about that, my question to you is, as you interact with them, if your company is hiring, or if you know of another company that's hiring, if you would do the networking we've talked about, help connect them, ask them about those next steps, and see if you could be a resource. You will be able to identify the students who are still searching for their jobs based on a tag on their name tag that says employment. That means they're still in the process of searching and securing those next steps. We will also have a lot of our juniors present, so our junior class, the students who will be up here next year, that are in the process of finding and securing their internships. All of our students through the CAMIT Core program complete an internship placed with an employer, and so they will have a tag on their name tag that says internship. That means they're searching for an internship. So even though they won't be stationed at a table, engage with them, find out what their interests are and what they're looking for next. And if you did not grab one of the employer tags for your name tag, if you are an employer that is here, and we would love for you, if you are in the process of hiring, we would love for you to grab one of those tags and also attach it to your name tag. It lets the students know that you're looking for someone, and maybe they can help connect you to themselves or some other students as well. Additionally, a new thing we're doing this year is we're actually going to have a 5th winner. So our 4 students up here, but we want you to help us select one more winner. So as you leave today, you'll be handed, our student ushers will hand you a little bag that has 5 tokens in it. And each of the students at the table where they're stationed will have a container that as you talk with them and hear about their projects, again, amazing projects that have gone on this semester. You get to cast a vote. You can put all 5 in one canister. You can spread it out 1 to 5 different students. It's at your choice and your leisure to help us vote for one more student that is really deserving of another prize. And we will award that prize to them following the event sometime later this week or early next week.
What you've seen today, the work that these students have put into their projects, the integration into what happens into the classroom side of things, the academics, this is the way college should be. It's exactly the way college should be. We were founded in 1911 to give students a chance at an education when they might not normally have a chance. We're still doing that today. So what does that mean? 1, it's affordable. 2, it provides you academic excellence. And 3, it provides you a career path. And we're doing all of those. When I talk about affordable, we have a $17,000 tuition, annual tuition. If you are a student in a South Carolina high school and you have a 3.0 GPA, you go to SMC tuition free. If you have a 4.0, your tuition, all your books, and all your fees are covered. We are committed to investing in our students and getting them ready for the world. We pour our money into our students. And in the arms race of higher education today, with lazy rivers and great walk walls and fantastic arenas, we've decided not to do that. We invest in the people that are going to leave here and carry their skills for a lifetime. I'm really proud of that. We don't have any over-the-top of amenities, but we have over-the-top projects and students, and I think you'll agree with me on that. And so as you go here today and you start looking and you start talking about how can I help SMC, tell people about the fantastic opportunity that we have here. This is the way college should be.
Awesome. Well, I think we are ready to announce our winners. If all of our students will come back out and join us. All right, y'all. Every one of you did an incredible job, a great job. We are excited to celebrate all of you as well as all of our seniors after this. But our first award in 3rd place, please help me in congratulating Bryson Summers with his project Rev Up for Kids. Also in 3rd place, please congratulate Trip Melton with his project Upward at the Spring.
Great job.
And in 2nd place with her project Adjust Your Crown, please celebrate Victoria Farr.
I'm going to put that in your hands.
And our first place winner, Madison McCall. You're up. You're up.
My pleasure. Invited me up. Thank you for such a fantastic event. And this time I want to ask our students to dismiss and attend their tables. And we're going to wait for just a second while they walk out of the competition. I want to thank our judges again for the great work that you've done here. This is meaningful that you've spent your time. We all know that time is the most important and precious thing you have, and you have certainly dedicated yourselves to us. To the rest of you, thank you for being part of this. Spread the word about these wonderful young people. I will tell you this, if you turn on the news, you may be a little bit worried about our future. You may be worried about young people. But if you come to SMC and see these young people, it will give you heart and it will give you encouragement that we are going to be okay. These are our future leaders. And if you will now please join us outside and talk to the other students who put a tremendous amount of effort into their projects as well. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great afternoon.